HVAC condenser fan motor, a 3-wire condenser fan motor. Ohming it out with an ohm meter, putting it in the ohms position, the horseshoe looking little thingummy here, in order to assess this. Take the lead off here to zero it out. Okay, if we go from start to run, we should get the highest reading. So if we normally it's inferred that the brown, which would go to your capacitor, we hook it up here, so this would be your start. So what we're trying to find out now is which is the common. Is the yellow the common, or is the black the common? So if we take now and connect this up to the into the yellow terminal, so we have it connected to the yellow terminal, we have it connected to the brown, so we have it connected to the start, which is the brown, and we don't know what this is yet, but we get a reading over here of, say, about 178.7. So we plus or minus over here, so don't take these numbers exactly, and my handwriting's chicken scratch, and especially just writing something. Okay, so we have a number of about 178 rounded off. So what we do now, we only have 2 more wires, because we have our brown wire, which is our start wire. We've got the meter clipped on it. So we take the meter off of the clip off of this, and the meter zeroes out. It goes to OL. So now we have a black wire. So what we're trying to assess here is we put it on the black wire, and we're trying to assess, is the black wire the common, or is the yellow wire the common? Because it's pretty standard knowledge that the brown would be your start wire. So now we go over here, so we're clipped on to the terminal here, so we have a reading of 48.1 plus or minus. I have 47 written here, but it's close enough, just a rule of thumb. This is not an exact science. So then if we have what we have here, this would be start to common. So we have from start to common, so the lowest. So I think, and if the HVAC gurus would chime in and add this, it would be very helpful to the community. Would the lowest reading insinuate that from the start wire to the lowest reading, would that insinuate that would be your common wire? And if the HVAC gurus, okay, so now we take this alligator clip off of here, and we find this. Okay, go over here, and we have, okay, so we know this is, so we're going from now, we insinuated this is the common, the black wire, because this would start, the common would be the lowest reading. So I think your lowest reading would insinuate the common wire, which would be black in this case. But now if we cross over from our common to our run terminal, then we get a reading of, say, 131.4 or something, or 130. So if one takes these two numbers, this number here and this number here, and they add these up, that it should get close to this number here and this number here. Remember, from the outset, the start to the run will give us the highest reading. So we're at around 178. So if we add 130 plus 47 point something, we should come up close. So these numbers may be close when they do this. So now again, the HVAC gurus can add this to the comments. And so we go start to run. This gives us, and this is the start wire. So we start out here. We go from our brown wire that goes to the capacitor. Okay, we've got that hooked up to the brown wire to the capacitor. We've got the clip. Okay, now we have 2 wires remaining. We have a yellow and a black. So what we're trying to assess here, which of these 2 wires is considered your common wire? So when we tap it onto the yellow, we get 178.3, somewhere in here, plus or minus. Don't take these numbers as exact science, but close enough. Okay, so what happens, we have 2 wires. So we undo this wire. When we undo this, the meter goes back to OL. Now we have the black. We hook it up, we connect it to the black terminal. So we've got it to the start terminal and the black terminal. Okay, the black terminal reads 48.148. somewhere in there I wrote 47.8. That's close enough. So this, from the start to the common, I think your lowest reading may give you which wire's your common. So in this particular case, when we go from start to the black wire, we get the lowest reading here. So I think this would insinuate that the black wire would be the common. Now, I'm not certain on this, so the HVAC guys can give me some help. But now what I want you to do is, when I undo this, okay, I undid that from the black wire. So the other wire would be the run. Now I clipped it onto the run. And remember, start to run, which start is the brown, run is the yellow. It gives you the highest reading. We come back over here and we have a reading of 178 plus or minus here. So then I go here, undo the clip here, put it back on the black wire, and when I put it back on the black wire, we read about 48, so 47, 48, somewhere in there. So, and if I jump her from the run to the common, which would be, that would give me the next highest level. So this would be the run to the common. So I've got the common, the run, and then we're at about 131.1 or something. I put 132 here, because now do keep in mind, when you use these alligator clips, your reading may be off different, a smidgen differently than the actual reading if you have just the prongs. But this kind of frees your hand up, but sometimes you can't use these on high voltage. But what we're doing here is going from run to common. We're going from common. We assessed the black wire was the common, I think. Now the HVAC guys can tell us. We're going from here to the yellow, so this would be the run. We have 130, so if we take 130 point something plus about 48, we come up close to this number here, and so this number here. So the way to do it is just remember, start to run. Start wire is this brown wire that goes to the capacitor. We clip it on there, and then we're on the run, and it should give us the highest reading. So then it's a 50-50 deal if it's a 3-wire motor at this point. So then you take this wire and undo it from the run and hook it up here on the common, and it gives you 48. So I'm thinking from your start, the lowest voltage, which would be 47, 48 something here, from your start terminal to your common terminal, the lowest voltage, start to common, the lowest voltage would insinuate that this is probably your common wire. Now, I'm not certain on that. The HVAC guys can give me some help here and enlighten the community. But so if it's a 3-wire motor, if you start out with your start to run, and you don't know which one's the start and the run, so what you do is you connect it to the start first, then you connect it to either this one or either this one. Now, which one is the highest reading? Once you know the highest reading, you insinuate that's the run terminal. So if we take this clip over here, we're at 48, and we move it over here, okay, once we move it over here, we're at 178, plus or minus 178. So this would insinuate start to run's the highest, so deductive reasoning would insinuate then the next one, if we switch it here from start to run, if this is start, this is run, this has got to be common. But if we want to verify it, we again, I'm not certain on this, so just the HVAC. But when we go here, we have about 48. So when we have about 48, so we take this number and this number, it collectively almost adds up to this number. So your start to run is your highest. So start out with your start, your brown wire that goes to your capacitor, and then touch either one of these, whichever gives you the highest reading, you know it's your run. So once you find the run terminal, you don't have any, you have one more terminal left, and that's it. So that would insinuate to my way of thinking. Now I'm not certain if this is the best way to do this, but again, the HVAC guys can can help us out here and give us some comments, some good comments, that would be wonderful. But so I'm thinking, okay, if we went from here to this wire and we get the highest reading, if it's a 3-wire system, we own, and in this, they'd insinuate this would be the start and this would be the run. So your brown would be your start and your yellow would be your run. So there's only one more wire, so therefore the black would have to be common. Condenser fan motor for heating and air conditioning, how to find the common wire on a heating and air conditioning with a 3-wire condenser fan motor. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.